Every day, there's a new threat to the continuity and safety of your organization. What if you could take the latest technology and create a solution that keeps you prepared for any disruption? We converge the best in IoT software, wireless, and networking to give you the 24/7 peace of mind. We're Alfco Wireless Consulting. Get connected. Stay connected.
All right. Hello, hello. All right. Everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for taking the time out to be here with us today. We got something special for you all. If you don't know us, we are the Graphic Ninjas. We are hosting this event right now, and we have a guest speaker today. Our guest speaker is a minority business owner of a technology company. He has been in tech for 18 years. He's a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce in Nashville, Tennessee, and he is partners with other minority-owned tech companies in his region. And our guest speaker today is Carlin Alford. All right, Carlin will be giving you some words of wisdom today. Hear him out, and he will bless you with his message. Carlin, take it away.
Well, thanks again, guys. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Graphic Ninjas for sponsoring this event, for coordinating it, and for the honor of being your first speaker for Impact Live. I don't take it very lightly that you could have asked anybody to really start this off. But it's me, so you're stuck with me for next 15 to 20 minutes or so. And I'd just like to start off by saying thank you. So that's what I would. And for those who are tuned in, be sure to reach out to the Graphic Ninjas for all your graphic needs. I think it's 3graphicninjas@gmail.com is where you can contact them. So I'm going to start off by supporting minority-owned businesses. We're going to jump right into it. My name is Carlin J. Alford, and I am just an average guy who happens to own his own business based in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been, quite frankly, my company's name is Alfco Wireless Consulting. 7 years ago, I opened my business, and it was based around wireless device recycling and data security. And I went back to work in corporate America and decided to reopen my business back in October and do it around preparedness and connectivity. And so now I'm a solutions builder for anything that anybody would ever need around getting connected and staying connected to the cloud. So I really, really enjoy what I do. I feel like I'm just living out my purpose in life, and that's what I'm here to try to give you a little bit of insight as to what's worked for me. And just keep in mind that what works for me may not necessarily work for you, but at least you can have some sort of template to work from. And so that's kind of the goal today, is kind of give you a template. So let's jump right in. Number one, we're talking about marketing, talking about how do you know if you really have something that is sellable, and in that, how does that jive with your life, and what can make it special. The first thing is you got to find your purpose, and I know there are a lot of motivational speakers that say that, but one of the things that you have to do on this earth is you have to find your purpose. God has created each of us as unique individuals, and that fact alone, means that you are special, and that there's something special inside of you that the world needs. And so that is called your purpose. And some people, it takes a lifetime to really find their true purpose, but it shouldn't. It doesn't need you don't need a lifetime in order to find your purpose. So a couple of things that will help with that. Number one, what do you really like to do? And when I say what do you really like to do, what are you good at? And it can be something as simple as drawing or sketching. It can be singing. For me, my purpose is bringing people together and figuring stuff out. When I was little, I used to love to play the Rubik's Cube. I actually never solved the Rubik's Cube fully. I would do it more than the average person. I would get like 3 sides, and then I get frustrated and start all over again. But I love to figure things out, and I love to connect people. And what I found out as I got older and went to grade school and high school and college, that I was really good at putting people and stuff together. And in the business world, there's a need for that. And I didn't realize that until halfway through my career. So one of the things that established what my purpose was is when I woke up every morning thinking about it. It was something that God put in my spirit. And so with what you do, it isn't just about what you like, but you have to start there, because you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life. And so purpose matters. It's the thing that drives you when you get up in the morning, right? So if you get up in the morning and you're going, how many houses can I build? Or how many math problems can I solve? For me, it's how many people can I connect to technology? And I wake up in the morning thinking about that. And then because I'm doing it and I'm seeing some level of response, I'm able to connect that and identify that as purpose from a business standpoint. That's there's different types of purposes, but from a business standpoint, you get results, right? So in other words, if you want to start a food truck, and you get up in the morning, and no matter if anybody's out there or not, you're cooking away in the kitchen of that truck, and it's fulfilling. Like you go to bed that night and go, man, I feel good. No matter how much money I made or whatever. That's purpose driven. You're working towards your purpose. We'll come back to that in a second. That dovetails hand in hand with choosing your path. A lot of times people wander in their career with their business. They kind of go from one thing to the next, and they don't really choose a path. When you know your purpose, right? Why I'm here, right? Like I said, I'm here to connect people with technology. Then I could choose my path, and I chose my path. And in choosing that path, I want people to be prepared. So my business is around prepared technology. In other words, there's a tornado or a disruption, for that matter, an emergency, a terrorist threat or something like that. The grid goes down, the electricity goes out. I can still keep you connected to the internet, right? Because I went out and I found these really, really cool solutions, and I connected them with people that need them so that they could be prepared. So I chose my path, and my path is preparedness for my business, right? My purpose, going back to the beginning, is to connect people with technology. That's how I know I had something, right? So when you choose your path, you have to be clear about where it is that you're trying to go. Like my family and I, one time recently, we went hiking. And I knew that I wanted my family to end up back where we started, right? Because we had to get in the car and go home. We didn't want to get lost in the woods. So I chose a path that went in a circle. Now, if I wanted a path that just ended on the other side of the mountain, I would have chose a different path. So when it comes to your business, when it comes to your product that you are developing to go to market, to launch to the world, it's important that you choose the path, and that takes some reflection. You have to sit down, take a pen and a piece of paper. I mean, a lot of times, I know everybody uses their phone, they make notes, that's fine. But to sit down, take a pen and a piece of paper and start off like, I am here. I have $7 in my account. I want to grow this to a $2 million business in 5 years. And I want to have 200 customers by the end of year 2. And all of that becomes a path, right? And so just like I was telling my family along the way, I want us to be able to identify some trees. I want us to go up some hills. I want us to go down some hills. But for the most part, I wanted us to stick to this path because at the end of the path, we were going to get to our destination. Our destination was right back where we started, right? So with your business or with your product, it's pretty easy to map out where you want to go. Now, the strategy and all that other stuff, that can be a little bit complicated. But for the most part, in order to fulfill your purpose, you got to choose a path, right? Otherwise, you're just getting up feeling good in the morning. You're like, oh, wow, I really like doing what I'm doing. But to what end, right? My goal is to get people connected and to keep them connected. In fact, I made that our tagline for Alfco Wireless Consulting, which is get connected, stay connected. Wow. All right. So now I'm living my purpose every day. I know what my path is, right? Now, how do I navigate this path? Well, you have to fuel up, right? You gotta find out what you need in order to get to your destination. I knew that in the morning that my kids would get tired on that path. So I made them a big breakfast so that they would have everything that they needed. And along the way, it was available for us to stop at the store before we got on the path and get some Gatorade or make sure we had enough fluids. It's the same way in your business. In order to fuel up, you've got to be able to, what I say is create energizing partnerships. Those are the things that I feed off of. So technically, my business, I don't invent anything. I don't create anything except for relationships. I create a relationship between a technology vendor and between the customer. And I bring those two things together. And that frames what my picture is for my product, right? But in order to do that, I've got to have some go juice. And that go juice comes from information. It comes from other resources, specifically other people. I've gone out and gotten mentors. It wasn't that I wanted to be a CEO one day or be a president, or for that matter, even own my own company. But what I wanted to do is get up every morning and be fulfilled in what I was doing, be good at what I'm doing, and do what I'm good at, right? And in doing so, I had to find people who were already doing that, already living that out. So when I reopened my company, I actually partnered with a gentleman who's almost my same age, lives in the same, almost lived in the same neighborhood that I did, but already had a $2.5 million company. I went and got some go juice from him, right? That was my fuel to fuel up. What I did is I needed inspiration, right? And that inspiration is your fuel. So when you're on your path and you're trying to figure it out, you're navigating, and you're going up hills and down hills, being able to look over and say, yeah, That's somebody that's accomplished what I want to accomplish, can be motivated. It is fuel for what you need in order to continue on the path that you've chosen, right? In order to live out your purpose. Now, one of the things that I will say as a caveat in finding fuel is that you have to align with people that have the same type of character interests that you have. So in other words, if you're just out there after money, I'm not going to judge you. Find somebody that's just out there after money. But if you have a greater purpose for your business, my greater purpose is just to make sure that people have what they need in the time of an emergency, then there are some character things that I had to find in other people. Do they care about others, right? Do they have a greater sense of community? In other words, do they care about their community, what's going on outside of their house, outside of their business? Those are the type of things that I had to line up with in order to create the right product. Because here's one thing customers will always do. They'll always sniff out a rat. They always tell if your product is genuine or if it's contrived. In the world of technology, we call it selling vaporware. Literally, I've seen people, I've worked for companies where they sold a product that didn't even exist yet. That wasn't even ever going to exist. But they put together a marketing slick and it sounded good and everything. And because the customers, weren't paying attention, they ended up paying money for something that never was going to work. But for the most part, customers were able to sniff it out before contract time. So the key is when you're fueling up, right? In order to know you've chosen you found your purpose, you've chosen your path, and now you're fueling up. Make sure you're fueling up with the right fuel, the like fuel that will get you to your destination. So don't partner with somebody. Don't look to somebody as a mentor that does not share the same character values that you. The last thing that I'm going to say about this, after you've found your purpose, you've chosen your path, you've fueled up, now is to step on it. Now, one of my friends is the #1 motivational speaker in the world. His name is Eric Thomas, called E.T. the hip hop preacher. I was texting him. We were texting back and forth the other day. He's really good at telling people to step on it. Go, grind, get up and grind, get up at 5 a.m. and grind all day long. I mean, there is no shortcut. You have to put in the work. You have to put your foot to the accelerator pedal all the way to the floor and go. Here's why. Because the one thing you cannot control, you can control finding your purpose, you can control the path you choose, you can control what kind of fuel you use and when and who you connect with in order to gain inspiration, but you don't control your opportunities. Now, I know a lot of people out there say, oh, you can create your opportunities. I disagree. Sometimes there's only one spot for your product. There's only one spot for you to market it. And when I say that, an opening, right? When that opening happens, you have to step on it. What does that mean? It means getting up a little bit earlier. It means staying up a little bit later. It means you may have to skip going out to eat and put money into your product. Or it may mean that you have to have some uncomfortable conversations and then turn around and sit back down and rework your plan. But you got to step on it. You got to go. I had an opportunity with my business, and I was, a little bit hesitant, and I was like, I don't know if I want to work this hard, just to be honest with you. But I knew one thing, that if I didn't go, and I didn't go as hard as I possibly could, that window would close and it may not reopen again. Opportunity is not something that is promised to you. Nobody owes you an opportunity, and an opportunity isn't handed out to everyone. But what you have to be is ready, and you have to be ready. And how do you get ready is spend some time understanding your purpose. Find your path and choose it. Make sure you have enough fuel. Ask questions of people, even to the annoying end of they go, well, okay, all right, call me next week. All right, I'm going to call you next week, just like I called you this week, right? And then step on it. That is, when you step in, and when the opportunity comes, when you got the business loan approved, when you got, 5 customers lined up and you got 10 more waiting. You got to step on the gas. When you do that, you're going to be able to have success. That's what's worked for me. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've got a $10 million business yet, but I'm on my way. And the reason is because the door of opportunity has opened, and I was prepared. And I was prepared because I chose my path and I understand my purpose. And I get up every day motivated to do that because I got the go juice in me. I've chosen some really good mentors, and I've chosen some really a really good template to follow, and I've got something. So, and the reason I know I've got something, I'm getting checks. So, I hope that has helped you to some degree. I know that there's a further discussion that happens about how to put businesses together, how to put your marketing plan together, how do you go to market, that kind of stuff, that kind of strategy stuff. That's cool, and I'll answer any questions for as long as we have left on here. But what I want you to do is walk away. And these points have been outlined on the marketing and the invitation to this very session about finding your purpose, choosing your path, fueling up, and stepping on it. Put those things, cut it out, put it on your office wall somewhere. If you follow those steps, then the other stuff, it will lead to the other stuff. Your business and marketing strategy, your go-to-market strategy, your partnering and channel strategy. So that's what I have for you today. And I believe that the facilitators will turn the question and answer period on. I believe that's what's happening next. But if I could ever be of any help, check us out at alfcowireless.com. Hit the contact button. I'll be more than happy to take the time to answer any questions you may have. And you can even email me. I don't mind giving out my email address. It's Carlin, Carlin, at Alfco Wireless. That's ALF as in Frank, CO wireless.com. Brandon?
All right. That was good stuff. Thank you for that. That was very informative. Does anyone have any questions for Carlin right now?
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Alford. How do you know, beyond a shadow of doubt, that you have a good idea? Like, if you have a good concept or good tagline, how do you know? How do you figure that out?
Good ideas prove out. Well, not to go completely biblical, but a good tree bears fruit. Okay, so if you have a good idea, and you want to know that it's a good idea, quite simply see how people react to it. So I'm working on something right now with 2 other business partners, and we simply, put it out there and got feedback. And the feedback we got was, okay, we would like a proposal. I'll give you specifics on it. We're working with a product we call Threat Detect, which is wireless technology where we merge some hardware together that detects chemical, biological, radioactive, nuclear, and explosive threats in the air. But we do it through wireless sensor technology. We think we have something here. Well, we put it out to NBC Universal, who runs the Today Show, and they said, we'd like a proposal. So it must be a good idea. You cannot be afraid to have others. See, a lot of times people don't know, will crush an idea or a product because they're afraid to ask somebody what they think. That's crazy. Like, if your idea is good, if your product is good, your tagline is good, your song is good, let somebody hear it, and let more than one person hear it, because you may get a little feedback and I don't really like that, right? Well, not everything's gonna be a home run, so go back, work on it, tweak it again, but make sure it's a broad base. So I don't have any secrets in my ideas. The thing is, it goes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier about stepping on it. If you're not committed to developing your brand or your company, when you do let an idea out and you're afraid somebody may take it, right? It's only because they're going to outwork you. See, nobody's going to outwork me for my product. So I don't know. I don't care that people know that there's an IoT solution for Bernie out there, because I'm already down the road. They can't catch me, right? And so if you've got a good idea, test it. Let folks know. Play the song for them. You know, run the clip. You know, show them the graphics. And if you get a good response, because remember, we're talking about marketplace here. So it's not supposed to be just a good idea to you. It's got to be a good idea to your potential customers. So,
Cool.
Wow.
Cool.
I do have a question for Carlin.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned that you are you're working with some business partners right now. First of all, it's really, I guess I have a two-part question. First of all, where did you meet those business partners? And second question, how were you so sure that they had the same vision as you did for your project?
great question. So first of all, you know, I met these business. Well, my business partners that I have today are all former coworkers of mine. So there's a few ways to go about that. I happen to have been, I'm older, hopefully older than I look, but I've been around a while. So I've been very blessed to work with some very good companies, some successful companies. And most of the companies I've worked with were filled with entrepreneurs. So my coworkers left those companies and became presidents of other companies or started their own businesses. And so we all stayed in contact. And so, you know, I have a pool of people that, depending on what it is I want to do, I can choose from and say, well, I want that person to be my partner. I want that person to be my partner. And they have their like-mindedness because they're in technology. They have some, you know, similarities of character in that they want the world to be prepared. They have a passion for preparedness. So that was kind of easy. But I would encourage you, always if you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. Get a profile link. I mean, it's free. Get on LinkedIn. That's Facebook for business people, right? And join group. I guarantee there's a group of people on there that share your same interests. So if you are a cybersecurity professional, there's a group for cybersecurity professionals. If you are a songwriter for country music, there is a group for songwriters for country music. And do that and interact with people as much as possible. Ask questions. Say, hey, what do you do? What is it that, you know, and then check them out. You know, everybody's got a profile now online. And then you can choose your partners. Literally, it's like going down a buffet and going, well, I have two of those, I'll have one of those, I'll have one of those. But remember, don't waste people's time. When they come back to you and they say, okay, what is it you're trying to do? Have a clear idea of what you're trying to do. Go back to the 4 things that I was talking about. You're going to have to understand your purpose first. Nobody's going to partner with somebody that doesn't know why they're here, right? Nobody's going to partner with somebody that hasn't chosen a path. I don't really know where I'm going. Well, you need to figure that out first, right? But everybody wants to be on a winning team, and so that being the case, you know, LinkedIn. You can even use regular social media like Twitter. Always join groups. There's groups out there. So that's that's how I would recommend choosing them outside of the model that I've chosen, only because I've been around a while. And how you know that they like that they are of the like same character is you need to engage with them on something outside of the business model. So in other words, if you're in that group for, let's say, songwriting, but you have a passion for nonprofit, right? So you want to, you know, help, you know, people in their music career, you know, to give back to schools and do it through a nonprofit organization. What you want to do is ask those questions, like, you know, how do you feel about the music programs in schools, right? It's okay. It's okay to delve in with people once you meet them. And, you know, not everybody's meant to be your partner. You only need 1 or 2. So spend your time finding the right one, and it'll click, because it'll click on multiple levels, not just business wise, but on the greater character picture. Does that make sense?
I think it does.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know how much more time we got here left, but just kind of
Yeah.
piggybacking on that last question. When it comes to, I understand the acumen of the people that you want by your side, but how does lifestyle choices kind of bring to that? Do they have to be the same religion as you? Do they have to be like are there any kind of congruencies that you're looking for in a partner?
Yeah, I don't look for congruencies. I look for different. I look for balance, and so this goes into like my personal philosophy of me. And everybody doesn't want this. A lot of people today, and you can see this like in politics and everything, everybody wants to validate what they feel about themselves, or they just want to feel good about what they believe. Not me. I want to test everything that I believe, and if everything that I believe is wrong, I want to change it, and that goes for business as well. So a lot of times I won't partner with people who have the same like religious beliefs as me. Let's be honest. I'm not, I'm not against partnering with Black folks, but and I partner with Black folks, right? But I don't go out looking for that in particular. I want balance, right? I want Black partners. I want white partners. I want female partners. I want gay partners. I want straight partners. I want people who are going to give me a wide enough perspective so that my product, my solution set, will hit the needs of multiple markets. Because, look, if you pigeonhole yourself into just one area, one type of thinking, right, which is what we all do. This is why we need to partner with others. But when you pigeonhole yourself, from a personal standpoint, you limit your business, right? I have absolutely no limitations to my business because some of the people that I partner with are nothing like me, right? And what we connect together are on our, the business principles, the type of product and solution set that we're building, and the general overarching character. And so when I say general overarching character, I'm talking about, the idea for preparedness, the caring for your community. But caring for community, you can be Black, white, Latino, Asian, and care for your community. You can be Muslim, Christian, Catholic, Protestant, or Catholic and still care for your community. And I would want that array so that I know what I'm doing with my Catholic clients, or what I'm doing with my Muslim clients, or what I'm doing with my Protestant Christian clients. So I look for that diversity among, on the personal end of things, because I already know what I am. I want to know what you are.
All right.
Excellent. That was good. Thank you.
Cool.
Right.
Let's see. That is pretty much our time right there. Thank you, Carlin, for your words of wisdom. And thank you all for joining us, and all of you all who watch this later on. Thank you for taking out the time to see Impact Live #1. So thanks for joining us, and y'all have a great day. Take it easy.
Every day, there's a new threat to the continuity and safety of your organization. What if you could take the latest technology and create a solution that keeps you prepared for any disruption? We converge the best in IoT software, wireless, and networking to give you the 24/7 peace of mind. We're Alfco Wireless Consulting. Get connected. Stay connected.